NFL Week 6 coming up here. This is for Draftkings, the Sunday to Monday night games. Um, I would say these picks are mainly for 50-50s and double ups. Nothing too crazy in here. Like to keep it simple. Um, so yeah, let's get into it. On the quarterback position, first off, Tom Brady. You're gonna pay the most for him. He's at 8,100. He has the highest floor though, and he's playing Indianapolis. It's kind of a revenge game with the whole Deflategate scandal. So I think he's gonna be throwing 3 to 4 touchdowns in this game. In the Vegas line, New England's expected to score 31 points. So I think it's just a solid pick. Even you're paying so much for him, I think it's good to go with him. And I'd also if you're gonna pick Brady, I think you should stack him with either Edelman, Gronk, or Dion Lewis. We'll get into that later. But for the next quarterback, I also like Marcus Mariota. He was way cheaper than Brady's at 5,800. He hasn't really done much this year. Last week he had a tough week against the Bills, but I think Miami's so bad that I think it's a good value, 5,800. You can get better players at other positions. And I think that's the best bet for the quarterback position. Going to running backs, lock this week has to be Dion Lewis from New England. He's at 5,800. He's averaging 20 plus a game in points on DraftKings. He scored 3 touchdowns in the past games. And if you've watched him play, it seems like just Brady loves dumping the ball off to him if he's in trouble. He's getting a lot of carries, he's getting receptions. He's great on the run. If you saw his touchdown last week, I mean, he dodged probably 3 defenders to get in the end zone. It was a great hustle play, and I'm liking him this week. The other running back I like is Matt Forte from Chicago. They're playing against Detroit. It's kind of a weird game. Both teams aren't that strong, so I don't know. I think he's the Chicago's most reliable player, and I think he's going to get a lot of the touches against Detroit as well as receptions. And I think he's a good consistent player if you're looking for a 50-50 or double up type of game type. Um, guess we'll move on quickly to wide receivers. Again with New England, I like Edelman. He's at 7,600, which is 600 more than what he was valued at last week. He's averaging 24.3 points a game, which is a very high floor. Um, just such a solid pick. I mean, he's always running the slot routes with Brady, and I think again with them playing Indianapolis, it should be a high point game for New England. Um, another pick I like is Kendall Wright. If you're gonna pick Mariota on Tennessee, I think you should stack Kendall Wright. I think that's a given. He's at 5,200. I like the way he plays, and I think he's gonna have a good week this upcoming week. Eric Decker, the Jets, he's a good value pick as well, 4,900. I mean, if you're struggling to find cheap players, I think he's a good one. They're playing the Redskins. I don't think the Redskins have a great pass defense. I mean, the Redskins do have a great rush defense. We'll get in that with Ivory, but um, he's averaging 16.7 points a game in the games he's played, and I think he's Fitzpatrick's top receiver, one of Fitzpatrick's top receiver. Obviously, there's Brandon Marshall, but he's valued higher, and I think Decker can squeeze out a touchdown this week. Tight end position, um, my lock, who he's probably going to be in most of my lineups, is Antonio Gates. If you watch the Monday night game versus Steelers, I felt like there's a bunch of long third downs. I felt like everyone he was out there and Rivers was thrown to him. Also, I think he had 2 TDs. I mean, in the red zone, Rivers is looking for him. He's a big body, um, and he always finds a way to be open. Always finds a way to get the ball. I think he's gonna get good yardage. I don't know about a touchdown, but he's a solid pick at a value for a good value. Um, if you don't like Gates, I'll look at Tyler Eifert. I think it's a name. He's valued at 4,900. he had an explosive performance last week, and I think he scored around 30 points. Um, I think the Bills' secondary isn't the best. I think he can penetrate it pretty well. Um, again, Alex Smith and the Chiefs. I don't know who. I think he's a good target for Alex Smith, so I think I'm liking him this week against the Bills. For defense, I only liked. I mean, there's such up for grabs every week with defense, I think. But the team I liked the most was Denver at Cleveland. They're valued at 3,700. Denver's has averaged 17.2 points a game, and they've in the season they've averaged 13 points a game against them. They're a 4-point favorite on the road. I'm just liking. I think they're gonna dominate the Browns overall, offensively and defensively. So I think that's a good pick. Other picks I like. I mentioned this before with Chris Ivory and the tough Redskins defense. He's at a great value, and he's been playing well this year. And even though the Redskins do have a good run defense, I think he can still pick up some solid points for his price. That is. For a quarterback. Andy Dalton, he's valued at 5,700 versus Buffalo. I don't know. Buffalo didn't impress me last week, I think, and Andy Dalton did kind of impress me last week. So with that, I think he can put up points. I don't think I'm gonna pick him this week, but if he's a good pick. I think he still can be a good pick. Um, Jeremy Maclin with the Chiefs, he's at 6,500. He's Alex Smith's number one wide receiver. Obviously, it's not the tight end effort like I was talking about, but they're playing the Vikings. The Chiefs aren't that bad of a team, I don't think, and I think Maclin, now that Jamal Charles got hurt, I think Macklin's got to step it up, and I think he's going to get a lot of receptions, a lot of yardage, and he should get some touchdown looks. And then, last but not least, Rob Gronkowski of the Pats. I didn't put him in my tight end category because I heard he had Edelman and Lewis and Brady. Can't have them all. They're too expensive. But his average for I think his value is 7,600. He averages just as many points as wide receivers who are above that value. And I mean, he's due for a touchdown. I don't think he scored last week. He's always a good pick, but again, if you don't want to spend that much on a tight end, because it is sometimes a risky pick, then I wouldn't go with Gronk. But either way, so that's it for DraftKings. I'll include my lock of the week for just the lines. It's got to be the Pats, the 7.5 point favorite at the Colts. Um, I, if the Pats were favored by 2 touchdowns, I think I'd take them. But yeah, that's the lock of the week. I would, and yeah, that's it.